Good afternoon, everyone. I'm back on here. This afternoon, I'm going to talk about something with the campaign with Ola and Kyle Vandewater. And it's rather disturbing when you hear certain information and you start looking for it and you find it. And you realize that not everyone has the ability to find this information, nor do they even know how to find the information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to find some interesting information that should probably make your blood boil. I know it does me. Just follow along with me while I'm going to do this. I'm going to turn my phone around here so you can see this. Okay, we're going to go up here. And I'm going to Google FEC filings. Okay? Now, the FEC is your Federal Election Commission. Okay? We're going to go down here and we're going to click on campaign finance data. Everybody can see that. Okay? Now we're going over to finance campaign data. Right here it says candidate committee name ID. Okay, so we're going to put in Vandewater. Now what I noticed is you can't put his name together. It all has to be separated like this because otherwise you won't find it. And you click on his name and we'll let this load. Candidate committee profiles, results, all that lovely stuff. So, let me see here. I gotta make sure I get this right because this is tricky sometime. Come on. Sometimes these things are slow. Okay, now I clicked on that first one. Now we're over here and we're looking at his fundraising. Okay, Vandewater for Congress. Right now you see where it says total receipts $17,655. Total contributions $14,855. Individual contributions $13,000. Okay, pretty simple, right? But what about going down here? Let's get down here. We're going to go down here to disbursements. Notice up here it was $17,000. They've spent $15,000. Now let's go on total browse disbursements. Okay. Now there's the fun part coming up right here. Because we were told that, certain people didn't really choose a candidate to get behind. But watch this. You come down here, WinRed Technical Services, okay, they're out of DC. We have here Robert Walker. Everybody says, well, who's Robert Walker? Well, I'll tell you here in just a minute. You'll go down here, Robert Walker. You go right here, you got the Cassell Group. Interesting, isn't it? Go down here, the Cassell Group, the Cassell Group, the Cassell Group. I don't know who Mr. Masterson is. Let's go down here. Now you notice he's got Fly Creek Post Office, which means that's local, right? Interesting, I found this one a little interesting. Town of Washington Republican Committee. They sent him $984 out of that $17,000. I don't know what for. They say it's an in-kind contribution, but odd to send them, when you're running a campaign, why you'd be sending the Republican committee money unless you were paying them off to do things for you, right? Okay, down here, look, we got another Cassell Group. So you click on this Cassell Group. Oop, Where'd we go here? Here we go. So, the Cassell Group, Fly Creek, New York, $2,500. Communication website services. Okay, fair enough. Well, let's go over here. Let's keep looking. Let's go. Fly Creek Post Office. Both of these, mailing and postage. Well, if Mr. Vandewater and his campaign is down in Dutchess County, that means the mailing and everything's done out of Fly Creek. That means what? That means the Cassell Group is working for the Vandewater campaign, taking care of their mailings, correct? Now, I'm sure everybody's asking, okay, well, who's the Cassell Group? Well, let's take a peek. Let's go backwards here. Let's go right back here. We'll go back on Google. Cassell Group. We'll go like that. Cassell Group, consultant in Cooperstown, New York. Interesting. The Cassell Group. Let's take a look. See what we got here. Full-service political consulting firm that specializes in general strategy, media production, message development is our main objection, or objective. Interesting, isn't it? So, Mr. Cassell, everybody says, okay, well, yeah, so everybody's got to have people working for him, right? The point being is Mr. Cassell is also the chairman. Mr. Cassell is also the chairman of the Otsego County Republican Committee. So ask yourself, why back when we first heard of Ola and Mr. Vandewater running, why was it so quick that the Republican Committee jumped on board and endorsed Mr. Vandewater? Was it because there was some financial gains for some people working within the committee? I think maybe. Because, you remember Mr. Walker you seen? Let's go over here. We're going to go over here. Okay. We're going to go. Oh, how do I get here? And so, hold on a minute here. I'm trying to get to something here. If I can get to it. I'm not quite sure how to get there. This is not my phone that I'm doing this with, so I borrowed it. Don't tell anybody. Let's go over. Okay, here we go. Maybe this is it. Let's go up here on the search bar. And now we're not going to put Robert Walker, but we're going to put Bobby Walker. Search. Okay. Come on. Come on, you little beast. Okay. Okay, that's not working. So, let me do it this way. Hold on a second. I'll try to figure out how to get this thing here. Hold on, people. We're getting there. I will do this. I swear. I'm going to make this work. I have never used this phone before. It's not mine. Bear with me. Bear with me. I'm getting there. Okay. How do I get on your timeline? Facebook timeline? On there?
My Facebook?
Yeah. Ah, there we go. Okay. Now we can do this. Okay. Now we're going to search Facebook. Okay. We're going to go back to that. Bobby Walker. Okay. Here we go, folks. Bobby Walker. Right here. Let's see. Chairman, New York State Federation of College Republicans, former director of social media for Mark Molinaro, lives in Schenectady, New York, from Cooperstown. Remember this line right here? Lives in Schenectady. Okay? Well, let's see more about Bobby. What's Bobby doing? What's Bobby up to? Let's see. Former director right there, lives in Schenectady. Where's all of it? Oh, some of it's missing. Oh boy, a lot of it is gone now. So it's been deleted. Because on there, you would have found that Bobby Walker is also the executive vice chair of the Otsego County Republican Committee, living in where? Schenectady. Why is he in Schenectady County and having anything to do with Otsego County? Well, that's because he works for Vince Cassell. Are you putting these all together now? So what it is, I noticed he's changed things from the other day, but I've got screenshots of that information on my phone, so he can't hide it from me. You just scroll down, you know. He's trying to play both sides against the middle here, from what I can tell. They got a really good candidate in Ola, but they don't want to back her. And why wouldn't they want to back her? Oh, it's not too difficult to figure out. When you're getting your paycheck from one candidate, you certainly don't want to back the other one, now do you? Because, well, that would mean you're making less money. And I showed you on there, if you follow it, as I said, let me see, you follow that, paychecks that went to Mr. Walker totaled $3,000. If you go back in that FEC filing and you look at it, you actually see that. Mr. Cassell had taken, or his group had taken $2,500 and $3,414.30, along with mileage charges on a vehicle, I guess, of $73.32, $28.20, and $38.45. And like I said, $984 out of his campaign went to the Town of Washington Republican Committee, which I find kind of odd you would give an in-kind contribution when you're trying to run a campaign yourself, especially for Congress. And he's doing this on no money. Because if you looked at that, he had $17,000 in the bank, dispersed over $15,000. He's got what, a couple $1,000s left? And he's going to run against Anthony Delgado with a war chest of a few million. Doesn't make any sense. So what is the game being played? What is the real motivation behind this? Because we're not going to get an answer. Like I said, we were in the 2A. We're still waiting for an answer from Mr. Vandewater from questions that we asked months ago, way back in November. We haven't gotten them yet. So what you got here is, what I see is, well, pay to play. Put it simply, put it mildly. You pay off the chairman of the Republican Committee, and the Republican Committee gets behind you, whether you have the money or not, doesn't matter. Is it that? Is it just simply for the money? Because, you know, they had, if you talk to Ola, you'll find out that they had approached her and wanted to work her campaign, and she told them no. Interesting. So is it we're upset? They're probably mad at her because she wouldn't hire him. Oh well, get over it. She doesn't need him. She's doing well enough right on her own, just what she's doing. They know it. They don't like it. Of course, they don't like the help they're getting from us either. Out here, you know, the hillbillies, the rednecks, the country boys out here. They don't like the fact that we're helping her. They hate it. With a passion. They hate it. They've been trying to shoot us down. You'll notice that they're going around, like I said, they're going around telling everybody that what we're saying is BS. It's not true. Well, I just showed you how to get to the FEC filings. You can go look up the information yourself. You'll find out every penny that Van de Water's spending and who's taking it. Pretty disturbing. Bothers me quite a bit. Because Mr. Cassell is the chairman of the Republican Committee in this county. And he is being paid off to sell us out. That's the way I see it. That's my opinion. You can decide on your own what you think, but I'm pretty certain that when you really get involved and you really start digging, you're going to find this information yourself. In a couple minutes, I'll get that screenshot of what was on Bobby Walker's page that I noticed that he erased. Changed. So for some reason he's hiding something, because he also took out the fact that he's the head of the Otsego County Young Republicans also. I noticed that's gone too. But I'll share it. I'll get my screenshot and I'll share it in a comment on this video so you can actually see it for yourself. Excuse me while I'm just scrolling down through here looking for more information. And then I have to ask myself, or you might want to ask yourself, well, if they're doing this in this manner, this way, why would they do that? It doesn't make any sense. Well, it does if in fact you might just be working maybe both sides of the aisle. Maybe you're taking money from both sides. I'm going to find out. Oh, I'm going to find out. Maybe you're setting it up for somebody else to run in 2 years. Maybe you want Anthony Delgado reelected so that you can put your guy in 2 years to run against him. Because if you had a solid candidate that could actually win and remove Delgado, that means you would have to primary the person that won. But if you lose the seat to Delgado, the person you really want in, you can run them in 2 years. And everybody's asking, well, who would that be? Well, it'd be none other than Mark Molinaro. Think about it. And who's Bobby Walker working for? If you read that Facebook thing that I just had up there, Mark Molinaro. Well, what sense does that make? Well, in common sense, it doesn't make any sense at all. But when it comes to money sense and how you make your money, then it makes sense. Because you're working to make sure that your guy gets in there eventually. Now, Mark Molinaro was asked to run for this seat, and he declined. He declined because he's a county executive and said that I have 2 more years left. I can't run now. If anybody read the stories, I do believe I even shared it on Facebook. He said that he would run in 2 years. So what do? Find somebody to hold that seat. You either find somebody that's weak, that might win it, or you set it up to where the person that's already sitting in that seat stays there so that you can run the person you want to run in 2 years. I don't know which way this goes. I don't have an idea. But you've seen the numbers. I just showed them to you. I showed you how to get there. My suggestion, start checking every campaign around here. Let's find out who the Cassell Group works for. Question is they work on both sides of the aisle? I'm going to find out. I hope you all look into it too. This needs to stop. This needs to stop. They're not looking out for us. They're looking out for their own well-being, their own pocketbook. They don't give, let me put it to you bluntly, they don't give a rat's ass what happens to us. They don't care. We need to change that. And I'll tell you right now exactly how you're going to have to change that. Each and every one of you, especially you guys in the younger generations, and I talked to a few of you yesterday, start running for Republican committee seats in your town. Because I can tell you this right now, I know for a fact, in a town right next to me, there's 2 Democrats sitting on the Republican committee. And I know they're Democrats. They know they're Democrats. They only switched parties to do this. This kind of crap. They switched parties to pull the Republican Party to the left. If you don't believe me, look at the laws they're trying to pass. They're not for the people. It's for what they want. It's not for us. Everybody that lives out here in the country, they know what the country life is. Live and let live. We don't need any draconian laws to tell people to clean up their damn yard. We don't need that. But that's what they want. Shit, they got their law through. You couldn't even have so much as a lawnmower sitting on your yard, and you could be facing a citation for it if they ever get that law passed. They know it. I know it. Everybody in town knows it. Nah, it ain't gonna fly. It's time to take the party back, people. It's gonna start with us. Right here at the local level. That corruption made it to D.C. because we all went to sleep. And they all figured we didn't know how to look up things. They all think we're dumb. So yeah, I'm that dumb truck driver that doesn't know much. But I'm paying attention. And I'm going to turn it upside down if I have my way. I've had enough. I hope every one of you have had enough. Where you'll start looking into this stuff. If you don't get involved, you don't vote, we will lose everything. Because both of these parties are working against us. If you figure it out, it's all about money. It's all about them. It's not about us. It's time we make it about us. Y'all have a good day. I hope everybody understands what I just showed you. If you have any questions, drop me a private message. I'll walk you through it again. I'll show you where this stuff is. Now it's up to everybody else to go looking. But I would check every campaign. Let's find out just who Mr. Cassell works for. It ain't us. Promise you that. Promise you. It's him. It's all he's worried about. Have a good day.